for me. Work for me.
Hello everybody, it is Christine. It is time for a scrapbook process video for iron crafters. Now, our ingredient this month is Sequins, and I have pulled it. Oh, I lost one. Oh dear. I have pulled out Spiegel Mom scraps, and I've got Golden Glow and My Sunshine because I have pulled out my counterfeit kit for this month, first time, which is kind of a shame because it's so cute. Look at all this, y'all. And I pulled out a wedding photo. Isn't this sweet? Y'all, I have so many to choose from, but I thought this went really well with this collection here. So I'm going to use this photo. I'll use these. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to use these papers here because I think it goes really pretty with this. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to use my circle cutter too, I think. I haven't figured out anything else. So I've got all these embellishments and stuff from my kit. So I'll worry about that in just a minute. So that is what I'm starting with. So give me just a second. I need to cut. Oh, also I'm going to mat this on white cardstock. Where's that at? We'll do that. All my wedding photos, by the way, are 4x6 basically, unless I print them again myself, which I have done. I did some the other day like that. So I'm going to start with this. So give me just a second. Let me do a little bit of cutting and I'll be back on in just a moment. Okay, so I decided to make a circular element. That pattern is, it's a gorgeous pattern, but it can be a little bit busy. And plus I wanted to see it over the top of the little pale, I don't know what that color is. Teal green, not teal, that's too dark. Pale greenish, bluish color there. Aqua maybe, I guess is the right color. So I cut this circle, and I actually initially thought I might use the outside edge of it, but I realized I cut it a little big. So I'll end up actually using that branding strip. I want to kind of offset it. I'm feeling a little asymmetrical this layout. And y'all, okay, story about these goddamn distressors. So I bought a new one. I showed it to you guys. It's black. I've used it. I can't find it. So I'm looking for it yesterday. And I find one of my old ones. And I told you guys that's what was going to happen. That after I bought one, I was going to find one of these other ones. Y'all, I am not this disorganized. So I'm honestly thinking the cats must be doing something. But on the other hand, this one, the old one I found was in my ink bag. Like, it's a little totally Tiffany thing that I have like my neutrals in that I use to distress, like the black and the tea. I think it's a tea bag and like a gray. I've got like a little small totally Tiffany that I have those colors in, and that's where I found this one. So I don't know. You know, the only thing I could think is my daughter does use my desk, my scrap desk, when she sits here and does, sometimes she works or she does some of her own Bible journaling stuff, and she'll use my desk. And so I'm wondering if she thinks she's being helpful and picking things up that I might have used and putting them somewhere. It's only the other thing I can think is I have a very creature of habit with this stuff, and I typically put exactly where it goes, so I'm baffled. Anyways, so I've done the distressing on this circle, and then I decided to use the yellow plaid there as a border on the right-hand side to kind of balance it, and then I've taken the branding strip from that floral paper. I just think that is so lovely. I think that's an old fancy pants or something. And I'm going to distress the side of that. I don't think I distressed the sides of the branding strip. It's a little bit small, and I just kind of wanted to put it down there. And my idea here is I'm going to put 3 little clusters of this stuff, the hip kit stuff, and have the sequins kind of sprinkling all around. So I run out of tape here in just a second, and so I'm going to cut away because my husband came home anyway, or not came home, got done working. So it was kind of late in the afternoon, so I decided to go ahead and go downstairs. So I'm going to cut away in just a second since I was going to change up my tape and all that. But you can kind of see what I've got going on. I've got the stripe on the side, the circle on the left. At this point, I haven't 100% decided, but I will end up matting the photo on the other portions of the yellow plaid, and I think that ties it together real nicely. And so it gives me a nice big photo mat. And then it's funny because on this one, granted, okay, this was September 28th, and it looks kind of fallish, but technically it's not Thanksgiving. But I will end up using several pieces of ephemera out of my hip kit stuff that kind of alludes to Thanksgiving in a way. But I think that's okay because they're getting married and they're grateful for it and all kinds of good stuff. So I'm looking through my stuff. I'm going to end up pulling out the paper ephemera off of this little goodie thing here. And also I have to apologize. I've been trying to zoom out a tad when I'm making these so that you can see like the whole board. And I guess when I sat down, I forgot to zoom back out. So the top piece is going to be hidden here for just a minute. I will show you in a second though. That up there on that upper right there though it's like a pumpkin. It says, I think it says grateful. And I add the word today. And the lower right says together on the other little pumpkin, and I'm going to actually add the word happy. Now, I'm combining multiple collections here. This is not the same collection. And the only thing I'm a little bit, I don't want to use the word regretful. That's not really, that's too strong of a word. But you see that blue that's in that tree on the lower right? I'm going to bring that in also on the word happy. I'm going to add some sticker words in a second on top of my, or I've already done it, sorry. Happy. That blue there, I don't really introduce that anywhere else. And I'm a little bit about it. And then after I kind of realized it, I thought, I'm not going to worry about it. I almost brought in a little blue heart on the left side over there, on the bottom left of the corner of the photo. And then I just decided against it. It'll be okay. So, again, I'm sorry I'm at the top up here, but I'm taking like these little gourds. You'll see it in a second. I'll zoom out and you'll see what I got going on there. I hadn't decided yet for sure on the lower left corner, so I'm kind of still messing with this bigger cluster. Put a couple of mushrooms. I got my trees. Got a pumpkin. And it says, like I said, it says happy together. I'm actually going to have this word thankful I'm sticking here. I'll mess with this for just a second because I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want that thankful to lay underneath there. I felt like the pumpkin was kind of floating, and so I wanted to add something. Same thing with up in the top there. It says changes in the air, and it's a little horizontal piece, and I was imagining it as like a little shelf because I felt like my pumpkin was floating. On the left side, on the lower left side of the photo, I'm going to introduce a couple more pumpkins. And again, all this is kind of funny because there is not a pumpkin inside in this wedding anywhere, any kind, anyway, but that's okay. It's a color match, right? So we're not going to worry about it. I'm going to add So Happy as a sticker over the top of that. I think that looks cute. Like I said, these pumpkins and these fonts I think are totally different collections, but HipKit does a pretty good job of like their colorways. I've said this before, and one of the reasons I stick with this club is because the collections are like across collections. You can kind of use stuff, and I find that very helpful when using stash is the biggest thing. It's like I can go back through and go, well, if it's a HipKit thing I'm starting with, I can probably go back in the binder and find something. I mess with these trees quite a bit too. I really fast around with how I want them organized, and honestly, I don't end up with them exactly like that, which makes me a tad sad because I kind of liked them like that. So at this point, I've glued all that stuff down. You can see on my little pieces, I did use foam up underneath the pumpkins basically, so you can kind of see they're lifted. And the top of the little flower things at the top up there, I put a little bit of foam underneath it. And then I'm going to use my little sprinkle technique with our sequins, which is our ingredient. I use it kind of, what's the word, abundantly, because I did want sprinkles kind of all over the place. It kind of just reminds me, I don't know, I don't know that her dress had sequins. Now, yes, it did. It had a few little sequins all in the embroidery at the bottom. I don't think it had up in the dress itself, but at the bottom there was like sequins sewn in. And I thought to myself, the sequins kind of just remind me of like wedding dresses and stuff anyway. So this worked out well. So I sprinkled them, and now I'm going to have to take my little picker here and go along with my little glue gun and just do dots. I don't make you sit through this because it does take me just a few minutes to glue everything down. But I go through and I just glue all these little sequins down. And then I'll show you in a minute on the slowdown, you can kind of see them sparkle. That's the one fun thing about sequins is they sparkle. I think that's why we're attracted to sequins and glitter and everything. We just like things that sparkle, right? I'm so sorry about the glare, too. I've been kind of messing with the positioning of the lighting, or I hit my head on them or something. But anyway, I tried not to show it too much, but there you go. So here you go. Here's the slowdown. Look at all those sequins. Isn't that pretty? And I'm really happy with this layout. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out the playlist. We always have a little playlist, and the Instagram links and stuff like that are below. So make sure you give everybody some love, and we will see you next time. Bye.